Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Rundown, where we talk about 2A news and conservative views. I will be your host today, Craig DeLuz, coming at you from the West Coast, the left coast, behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sierras. Fortunately, today I will be doing the program by my lonesome, through no fault of my esteemed partners. Just unfortunately, our schedules just did not work out today. In fact, today's going to be a relatively short program because, brother got bills to pay. I got schedules. I got an appointment that I have got to be at. But I did not want to disappoint after taking off all of last week or most of last week. So I want to make sure that you guys had a show today. And plus, there's tons of news to talk about. So I wanted to make sure to hit it. So, well, let's hit it. Let's get right to it. Oh, wait. Almost forgot. Got to pay the bills. Let's start. Let's go and talk a little bit about our sponsors. And we're going to go ahead and start off with Hitman Industries. If you are looking to do a rebuild, if you're looking for rifle caliber or pistol caliber barrels, the place you need to go is Hitman Industries. You can find them at hitmanindustries.net. Oh, and by the way, just so that you know, coming soon, Glock barrels. So you're going to want to check them out at hitmanindustries.net. By the way, they have a first responder discount, so check it out. That's where you want to get all of your barrels. You're looking for a barrel, they got what you need. Also, want to talk about the California Republican Assembly, otherwise referred to by the former President Ronald Reagan as the conscience of the Republican Party. It is the largest and fastest growing grassroots conservative organization in the state of California, helping to elect Republicans at all levels. If you want to be a part of California's future today, become a member of CRA. And then we've got Hog Holsters, helping Americans wear guns. That's right. If you're looking for a tactical holster, if you're looking for a concealed carry holster, inside the waistband, outside the waistband, the place you got to go is Hog Holsters. They will have this set up for whatever platform you have. Trust me, they will be able to hook you up. Just go to hogholsters.com. Make sure you use the discount code The Rundown, all caps, no spaces. Get your Hog Holster today. Also, then finally, uscombatgear.com is the place to go if you're looking for any sort of outdoor gear, tactical gear. If you're looking for boots, you're looking for backpacks, you're looking for pants, you're looking for outdoor shirts. Trust me, thermoses, helmets, hats, glasses, they have got it. They got great prices, they have fast shipping, and they've got a wide selection. So check them out. Veteran owned and operated. By the way, all of these, with the exception of CRA, which by the way does have plenty of veterans, but these companies are veteran owned and operated. So support them as they have supported us and our rights and our freedoms and liberties. So check them out. Check them out today. Oh, by the way, when you do, make sure you tell them it was the guys over at the Rundown that sent you. All right, let's get into today's stories. And we're going to start off. New info is out. Now, we already knew that there was a boatload of money that has gone to the Biden family. Let's call them the Biden crime family. We already know there's a whole bunch of money, but James Comer has actually released new bank records, which demonstrates, let me read it. I'll read it to you here. It says Hunter Biden's staggering $20 million haul from Kazakhs, China, Russians, Romanians, and Ukrainians revealed in new bank records. That's according to Comer. President Biden's family and their allies brought in at least $20 million from foreign sources, including first son Hunter Biden's business associates in Russia, Kazakhstan, and Ukraine, dined with the current commander-in-chief. The House Oversight Committee revealed on Wednesday. Committee Chairman James Comer said Hunter Biden, now 53, appeared to deliver Russian, Kazakhstani, and Ukrainian business people access to his father, then Barack Obama's vice president, noting that each of the post-Soviet associates allegedly attended at least one of two dinners in Washington's Cafe Milano with the Bidens. Now, this is the very height of influence peddling. I mean, this is literally, he is number two, right? Number two in the entire country. He is the second seat, the second chair to the president of the United States. And they are selling access. Now, their argument is, well, we didn't talk business. And it's funny how they keep moving, like they keep changing their story. At first it was like, well, Hunter didn't do anything wrong. And then it was like, well, okay, well, maybe Hunter did something wrong, but we never even talked to him about it. Then it was like, well, I mean, obviously we talked a little bit, but I didn't deal with any of his business deals. I wasn't a business partner. Then it was like, well, but then it was like, then when we found out he was talking to people, now it was like, well, but we didn't talk about anything having to do with the business. Now we're finding out he's actually had dinners with these folks, not just after he was vice president, but while he was vice president. Now, the only thing that we don't know for sure, that we don't know absolutely positively for sure is, did money go directly into a bank account with Joe Biden's name on it? Now, we do know that 10% was set aside for the big guy. I have no idea who the big guy is. And I'm sure you don't either. Because they've said, yeah, no, Joe Biden is not the big guy. So, gotta wonder, who is the big guy? But does it really need to go to the big? I mean, does it really need to go directly to Joe Biden? I mean, think about this. Biden family members, $20 million handed out to Biden family members. For what? Why are these companies, I mean, these oligarchs in countries that are part of Joe Biden's international foreign affairs portfolio, why are these oligarchs handing boatloads of cash to the Biden family, and then subsequently afterwards, policy decisions just seem to be made in their favor? I mean, that's a coinky-dink, isn't it? Yeah, it's a coincidence. No, it's not. It's not a coincidence. But I guess I should say that because, you've got the Democrats now all saying, there's no proof. There's no proof. Trust me, there is plenty of proof. In fact, you need look no further than Hunter Biden's laptop. That's a mic drop right there. Look, Hunter Biden's laptop. Mic drop. So, yeah, all they got to do is look at Hunter Biden's laptop and they will find all the proof they need. But then again, they're still in denial about that. But anyway, trust me, there's more to come on that story. That's going to definitely turn out to be a fun one. All right, coming up next here, D.C. City Council. So you remember the D.C. City Council was one of the main city council that didn't just call for defunding the police. They actually defunded their police, cut millions of dollars out of their city budget, have tried to implement programs or implement policies that would make it almost impossible for their cops to be able to do their job. So they've dealt with mass resignations. Well, funny thing happened on the way to the crime spree. DC City Council slashed police funding. Now its members want more cops as shootings plague the city. Washington, D.C. City Council in the summer of 2020 voted to slash millions from the police budget. Now, as homicides surge in the nation's capital, liberal council members want more cops. After D.C. saw 13 homicides in just the first 5 days of August, left-wing council members Brianne Nadeau, well, you know me, I'm horrible with names, folks, and Phil Mendelson touted their efforts to secure more resources for the police. With Nadeau, especially stressing the city's hotspots. Those efforts mark a stark turnaround for the council members, both of whom voted to cut $15 million from the city's police budget at the height of the Black Lives Matter movement in the summer of 2020. Nadeau, at the time, endorsed calls to defund MPD and get police out of schools, while Mendelson praised a 2021 police reform report that lamented DC's harmful over-reliance on policing and incarceration and called for the realignment and reduction of MPD's size, responsibilities, and budget. And now they want more cops. I know I don't have to explain this to you because you've watched us enough to know and understand exactly what I'm about to say. If you want to know why crime is going up, it's because you have removed the consequences. You have basically blamed the people in charge of enforcing the law. You've now pointed a finger at them and said you need to change. And so as a result, you've defunded them. You not only have you defunded them, not only have you cut their ranks, but you've actually then taken away resources. You've made it so that you've also taken away the tools that they have by instituting what you call police reform, which is basically a way of saying we're not going to allow you to do your job. And if you do your job, you could lose your job. You could lose your retirement, and you could lose your freedom because we'll put you in jail for doing your job. Now let's see, what's their job? Oh, right. Enforcing the law, right? Making sure there are consequences. You wind up in what's called the Ferguson effect. When you make it harder for police to do their jobs, they stop. Guess what? What am I about to say? They stop doing their jobs. They stop going into risky situations. They stop hunting down or going after some of these suspects. They stop enforcing the law because they say, you know what? I don't want to get in trouble. So what they do, they lean back. They let the crime take place. They go take a report. And that's what happens. And the thing is that you don't just see nuisance crimes go up. You see violent crimes go up because criminals, I hate to say this, but they keep pushing the line. And they're going to keep doing more and more until you stop them. Right? They want to blame guns, but it ain't guns. It ain't gun laws. Washington, D.C. has some of the strictest gun laws in the entire country. Right? California's dealing with the same stuff. Chicago's dealing with the same stuff. Some of the strictest gun laws in the entire nation. Yet and still dealing with that stuff. So, yeah, no, bad juju, bad idea. They are definitely, how do I want to put this? They're definitely, I just wish, here's the thing. If they would just admit that they made a mistake, just say, you know what? I know that I supported that. And I have to admit I was wrong. My heart was in the right place, but I was wrong. I can forgive that as long as you don't, once again, repeat that mistake. But I just want them to acknowledge that they were wrong. Just saying. All right. This one you're going to find kind of interesting. So an appellate court has actually ruled that the prohibition on the users of illegal drugs is unconstitutional. This is an appellate court. And this is actually kind of an interesting ruling. And I'll read a little bit of the article here from The Hill. It says here, appeals court rules for man who challenged ban on illegal drug users possessing firearms. A federal appeals court ruled a ban on gun possession for users of illegal drugs is unconstitutional, as applied to a man who used marijuana. The three-judge panel ruled Wednesday that Patrick Darnell Daniels Jr.'s Second Amendment rights were violated in being convicted of the charge. Law enforcement had pulled over Daniels for driving a vehicle without a license in April of last year. The officers found 2 loaded firearms and several marijuana cigarette butts in the car. Although Daniels was not alleged to have been smoking at the time, he admitted being a regular marijuana user to law enforcement and was subsequently charged with the gun crime, court records indicate. The 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals panel reversed Daniels' conviction Wednesday, finding that the government did not pass the new test for gun restrictions outlined by the Supreme Court last summer. The law must be consistent with the nation's historical regulation of firearms. So what he's saying here is, or what they're saying in this article is, um, if they didn't do it in the past, when you say past, we're talking like 1800s or before, 1850s or before, somewhere around there, then you can't do it. And there were no prohibitions on the use of drugs. Now, I once again I find that interesting. I find this interesting in so many different ways. Number one, because you have many states which have actually legalized the use of marijuana for both some for medicinal purposes and some for recreational use. So one has to wonder, well, what about that? Because that's only legal. Because it's only legal federally, and well, not only federally, but in some states it's legal. So how exactly do you deal with that? So one, there's that. Then number two, there's the Hunter Biden case. That's going to be another one that's going to be quite interesting because, well, that's a big part of his plea deal. So, I mean, in fact, that part of the plea deal where he went to the diversion program, what's funny about that one is that's where his sweetheart deal was put. If they take that away, where does his sweetheart deal go? Where exactly are they going to put his sweetheart deal now? Anyway, interesting stuff. I'm once again, I will just say that I'm a believer in more rights as opposed to less right. I believe in the fundamental right to keep and bear arms ought to be protected. There's a reason why it's second. There's a reason why it's vitally important. I think anyway. I don't know. I think it's dumb. I think it's dumb anyway. I think what we need to be doing is focusing on going after those who are engaged in violent crime. People who engage in violent crimes are the ones who we need to be working to prohibit from owning or possessing firearms. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents. I know some of y'all are gonna be like, you want potheads to have guns? No, I in particular don't want someone who's on pot in possession of a gun. I think that there is a difference between being someone who utilizes or smokes pot and owns a gun and being someone who is smoking pot or is under the influence of a legal substance or even a legal substance like alcohol and in possession of a gun. I think there's two very different things. It's about safety. Anyway, just my 2 cents. Anyway, moving right along. Disney's star continues to fall, and this is, I gotta say, I am not a fan of Disney any longer, and I think you all know why we're not fans of Disney. Disney has chosen that they've decided that they want to take the millions that they rake in from families, from parents of children. They want to take that and advocate for indoctrinating those very same children. They've decided they want to take both of their movies, their films, their shows. They want to take their theme parks and they want to indoctrinate kids and sexualize kids. And I know some of you don't believe that that's the case. Don't believe that they want to do that. But that's what they're defending. Those are the policies that they've decided they want to advocate and defend. And as such, I'm sorry, you don't get a right you don't get a right to my money or my dollars. Anyway, that having been said, Disney disaster, domestic parks struggle, revenue sapped by streaming services, 500 million plus in losses. Entertainment powerhouse Disney's third quarter earnings for the fiscal year, not the calendar year, showed it took major hits in its streaming business while domestic parks continue to struggle. As Breitbart previously reported, the company's streaming service, Disney Plus, suffered a massive loss of 300,000 subscribers in both the United States and Canada, while releasing a string of box office flops in the movie theaters, per report. To make matters worse for its fans, Walt Disney Company is hiking Disney Plus's monthly subscription price from $13.99 to $13.99 from $10.99, a 27% increase. Last year, the price rose to $10.99 from $7.99, which means Disney's subscribers will see their monthly bills climb a total of 75% in less than 2 years. The new price is set to take effect in October. On Wednesday, the studio reported domestic Disney Plus subscriptions fell by 300,000 for the fiscal third quarter and 46 million to 46 million subscribers. By comparison, Netflix boasts 76 million domestic subscribers. Worldwide, Disney Plus subscribers declined 24% for the period, mostly due to the end of Disney's deal with Hotstar in India. So they lost a big they lost some folks there in India. But here's the thing, folks, and this is what I'm getting at is, first of all, Disney Plus comes up with very little original content. They're coming out with there are very few things that are coming out that are new on Disney Plus. People who got it largely because they wanted to watch all the Star Wars stuff. They wanted to see all the Marvel stuff, or they just wanted to have access to the Disney classics. Well, people are tired of paying. I'm tired of watching it almost double, watching the cost of that almost double for them to get no new content or almost no new content. And the new content they are providing, to be quite honest, most of it is garbage. Most of it is just bad garbage. And then the movies that they're putting out, they've decided that they want to include in their cultural, social, and sexual commentary. And people don't want that for their kids. For the love of, I don't understand this. Your entire business model is about families and kids, and those are the very same people you tell them, well, I'm sorry if you don't want your kids to learn about LGBTQ+. I'm sorry you don't want your kids sexualized. I'm sorry you don't want I'm sorry you don't want, your little children to learn that if they're white, they're oppressors, and if they're black, they are oppressed. I'm sorry if you don't want them to learn that, but we're going to make them learn it anyway. And then you wonder why they're tuning out, why they don't want to go to your parks, where you don't say, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls anymore. Because you don't want to acknowledge that there are ladies, and there are gentlemen, and there are boys, and there are girls. I mean, this is beyond, because seriously, this is beyond go woke, go broke. This is, I'm going to shoot my business in the foot. I'm going to ignore my entire business model, that what has made Disney, Disney. Gonna ignore it all. Because I want to be woke. Thank you for that. That just is not the brightest thing in the world to do. And that then will bring us to our parting shots, brought to you by Hog Hosters. Go to hogholsters.com and get your Hog Holster today. Make sure you just use the discount code The Rundown, all caps, no spaces. Once again, get your Hog Holster today. All right, we only got 2 of them today, but they're both good ones. This first one, Mike should have been here because I know he would have appreciated this. Have you ever seen people sagging? I know some of you wonder, what is sagging? Sagging is where an individual does not wear their pants all the way pulled up. And this is a very appropriate meme for those of you who are like me, who do not believe in sagging. Here you've got a grown man who is sagging. He's got his pants down below his butt cheeks, his underwear showing, and a little kid is looking up to him and says, I learned how to pull mine up when I was 2. Yep, that works. Okay. And then the last one we have for today, in honor of the U.S. women's national team, or national soccer team. So this is the U.S. national women's national team of soccer. It says here, generated $3.2 million in revenue, but will take home over $7 million in equal pay revenue, split with men's team. Now, the point behind that, and the point behind that particular commentary is this, is for those who in particular in sports, I can't think of any better place in sports to make this commentary. The reason why female athletes in many sports do not make as many as men is because they do not draw the amount of attention. They do not get people to watch. They do not get the people who go and participate. They do not get the same number of people who buy the jerseys and buy the t-shirts and all the memorabilia and paraphernalia. They just don't do it. And I just want to say this. For women who are advocates of equal pay, in particular for women athletes, right? Let me just throw something out there to you. Go watch. Go buy their paraphernalia. Go buy their memorabilia. Go buy their jerseys, right? Subscribe to the Women's Soccer Network. Watch their games on TV. Go to the games. Same thing with the WNBA. If you want equal pay, help generate equal revenue. You know, when you look at, like, for example, like title fights and like whether it's mixed martial arts or boxing, the people who generate the money are the people who get the biggest checks. And all you got to do, if you want to make it happen, all you got to do to make it happen, start writing checks. You start writing checks, they'll start getting paid more. Why is it that men, I'm just going to ask this. So men want to watch what they want to watch. So why do we have to watch what we want to watch, right? Then you want us to then go watch women play, and we don't want to, right? Why can't you? You don't want to go watch anything. You don't want to go watch any sports, but you want to make us go watch. You want to make us watch what we want to watch and what you want us to watch. No, I'm sorry. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. And that's not how it's going to continue to work. I'm all for paying people equally for equal work based on equal experience and equal track record of success, right? In other words, if I got two people who have the same education, they have the same background, they both had the same amount of success and have demonstrated that, I got no problem with them paying. But the reality, by the way, the reality is that in most cases, the pay equity gap, when accounted for time in the workforce and education and experience, it's the gender gap, pay equity gap is just not what many on the left would have you believe. In any case, that's enough commentary on a meme. Anyway, let's go ahead and let's give a quick shout out to our sponsors before we go. We're going to start with Hitman Industries, pistol and rifle caliber length calibers, available to you today at hitmanindustries.net. California Republican Assembly, become a part of California's future today. Join CRA and get your hog holster. Hogholsters.com. Make sure you use discount code The Rundown. All caps, no spaces. And then finally, uscombatgear.com, the place to get all of your outdoor gear, summer gear, winter gear, camping gear, whatever you're looking for, you'll find it there. And on that note, we're going to call it a day. We thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you liking and sharing the program and encouraging your friends to do the same. And we will be back tomorrow on Freaky Friday. I'll let you later.